At least 13 people are dead after a series of devastating mudslides struck Southern California. This morning, many more are still missing. They're now the focus of an intense search and rescue. CBS's Tom Wade has more from Ventura, California.
Rescue workers continue to pick through mud and debris as they look for survivors. As night fell, an unknown number of residents remained unaccounted for following Monday's mudslides.
So loud, it was just constant roar.
There have already been some dramatic rescues made involving people who'd been trapped in the muck for hours.
It looked like a World War I battlefield. It was literally a carpet of mud and debris everywhere.
This disaster began with a storm that dumped nearly 9 inches of rain in just 15 minutes. The water triggered mudslides on the hills left barren by wildfires.
This was way scarier than that, because at least the fires, you could see them coming.
Evacuation orders had been issued for communities below the burned out Santa Ynez Mountains, but it's not clear how many heeded the warning.
When I saw the evacuations yesterday, I thought I can't evacuate again, and I didn't think it could be this bad.
Several major roads were covered beneath tons of mud, including this one, the 101. It's the main highway between Ventura and Santa Barbara. It's now closed until further notice. Today's forecast calls for clearer weather in the region, but the cleanup and recovery is expected to go on for weeks, if not months. Tom Wade, CBS News, Ventura, California.
And authorities are working to determine how many of those unaccounted for are actually missing or simply haven't contacted any friends or family members since the disaster struck. Also new this morning, a federal judge in San Francisco has blocked President Trump's administration from rolling back temporary amnesty for Dreamers. The ruling came on the same day the president invited Democrat and Republican lawmakers to the White House to hash out a deal on DACA as part of immigration reform. In a tweet late Tuesday, the president said in part, "Our country needs the security of the wall on the southern border, which must be part of any DACA approval." In attendance at that meeting was Montana Senior Senator John Tester. Afterward, Tester said beyond asking for more money, the Trump administration has yet to come up with a long-term border security plan.
This meeting will be the beginning of some immigration policy that I think could be very, very positive. In the meantime, we need to get a plan from Homeland Security on how the money is going to be spent that we allocate to them, whether it's for technology, whether it's for physical structures, whether it's for manpower.
Here in Billings, the topic of race relations brought together a culturally diverse panel for a forum at the Billings Public Library. Billings is one of the least diverse towns in the nation. 91% of Yellowstone County is white. The 5 panelists talked about their experience with racism from growing up to living in Billings. And a key takeaway, racism, overt or not, does in fact occur here. From accepting racial identity to microaggression actions by people to institutional racism, the forum covered a number of topics.
The racism toward Native Americans is what's most apparent in my experience since I've been living here in Montana.
You hear these little things, these comments. You can walk into a room and people just don't realize it and they say, "Hey, look, we're having a powwow." Things like that. Little tiny comments, "Oh, here come the Indians, we're not going to get tipped at a restaurant."
The comments, the being followed around in stores. I've been told to go back to Mexico more times than I can even care to count. It just makes me almost laugh at this point because it's so nonsensical.
Part of what makes, I think, racism so difficult today for so many people, where you do have these microaggressions, is that racism for some time is more systemic.
I'm definitely someone who feels it's important to speak up when you hear that and to let people know that I don't agree with that. That's not okay with me.
And Diaz also said the community needs to see people as people and look past the stereotypes. The panel encouraged people to become involved with social justice groups if they want to see cultural change. On to court news. An 8-year-old Billings girl bravely took the stand to testify against her alleged rapist, 22-year-old Tristan Morales. Clutching her stuffed animal and blanket, the little girl told the jury about the night she was raped. The trial for Morales enters its second day today in Yellowstone County District Court. Morales allegedly raped the girl last April. Although the victim testified on Tuesday, that was not the first time she was sexually abused by Morales. At one point during the victim's testimony, prosecutors stopped the trial because Morales was apparently making gestures and head nods directed at the girl. The judge warned Morales to stop and the trial continued. A Billings nurse testified the girl's sexual assault exam yielded little evidence because it was conducted 5 days after the rape. Earlier in the investigation, Morales allegedly admitted to the crime but blamed the victim's parents for being unaware. The trial resumes today. There's no word if Morales will testify. Continuing our coverage, the 2 Billings girls who were abducted Monday are still missing. However, the missing and endangered persons alert has expired. Billings police say 4-year-old Maya Cleveland and 1-year-old Ryan Cleveland were taken by their non-custodial mother and are believed to be in danger. 35-year-old Amanda Dobson is known to use methamphetamine. She stands 5'8", weighs 165 pounds, with blue eyes and blonde hair. Anyone with any information is asked to contact Billings police. The Billings School District 2 Board of Trustees will soon decide whether or not a high school mill levy will go before local voters this spring. If you recall, last May, voters approved a levy for the elementary district but rejected the high school levy. Following a meeting on the topic Tuesday, Superintendent Terry Bauk said it is critical to the success of our high school students.
In reality, we haven't passed a levy for the high schools for probably 10 years. And that's really unacceptable in terms of supporting our students. We try to be responsible as far as having great expectations for our kids, but we also need to support them.
If approved by the school board, the final levy will look very similar to the one voters saw last year. The money would go to expanding dual credit and advanced placement courses. The hope would be to decrease class sizes, which Bauk says are very high, especially in core classes like science and English. SD2 also says money would go to much needed textbooks for students, which can cost over $1 million. They would also hope to add more counseling services for students. The school board is unsure how much the levy would cost homeowners at this point, but those numbers would be finalized before it decides whether or not the levy will go on the May ballot. Now we go to Butte, where they're getting ready to commemorate the worst firefighting disaster in the city's history. MTM's John Amy tells us about the warehouse explosion that nearly wiped out every firefighter on the department more than a century ago.
It was on this spot in Butte 123 years ago when a massive explosion would shake the mining city.
It blasted out city windows, it shook the city. You could feel it miles away, hear it miles away. They saw it in Belgrade and they heard it in Willow Creek. It was so large.
January 15, 1895, Butte firefighters were called out to a fire at the Kenyon Connell warehouse on East Iron Street. They didn't know the warehouse was packed with tons of dynamite.
It was the first paid fire department in the greatest city in the Northwest. And they had came to that fire to do what firemen do. And sadly enough, they lost their lives.
The fire set off 3 large explosions as firefighters arrived on the scene. It leveled buildings on the block and instantly killed 13 firefighters.
In an incredibly sad tragedy, we lost all but 3. On top of that, another 40+ citizens who had rushed in after the first blast to do what Butte people do and lost their lives.
This empty lot is the location of the Kenyon Connell warehouse, and it remains empty more than 120 years after the disaster. This utility pole sort of represents the unofficial marker for Ground Zero. A few years ago, somebody wrote no memory on this pole, but the Butte History Club hopes that this disaster will never be forgotten.
I think it's important for Butte to remember this is the second greatest disaster that Butte has had in its history compared to the Granite Mountain Speculator mine fire, and yet majority of people in this town don't seem to even know about this one.
The club hopes to remind people by inviting them to a memorial service Sunday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the fire station on Mercury Street. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
And John also tells us the club will unveil plans at the ceremony to build a memorial in honor of the more than 50 people who died in the blast.